Set me down, the machine whispered. Let them heal. Mara nearly fell. The grief engine clung to her spine like a sleeping animal with iron claws. Pipes fed into her ribs. Blue heat pulled at her lungs. Below her, the city of Nerith hummed. Tawas drank her sorrow and lit their glass bones. Children studied under warm lamps. Lovers crossed safe bridges. All because she kept walking, kept hurting, kept feeding the machine. If I stop, she thought, the lights die. Wind shook the sky bridge. Sparks spiraled off the spine cage. The engine was the size of a coffin, but lighter than it looked. It had learned her step long ago. It moved with her, breathed with her. It also knew when her knees trembled, when the ache in her chest sharpened to a needle, when the memory came, the one with rain and a river, and hands she failed to hold. Set me down, it said again, softer. Let them heal. Mara clenched her jaw. I can't. She crossed into the mist quarter. Faces turned toward her glow. People bowed without words. Some pressed their palms to their own ribs, a silent thanks. Mara kept her eyes forward. Gratitude cut like glass. She could not carry their hopes and look at them at the same time. At the end of the bridge rose the weaver's spire. The city council waited inside, hidden behind stone and silk. They would weigh her numbers. They would smile. They would say, just a little longer, light bearer. They always did, but tonight the engine had asked for something it never asked for. Why? She whispered. I learned a new song, the engine said. Its voice was steam over frost. It's not a harvest song. It's a healing song. It needs ground. It needs stillness. Set me down. Mara almost laughed. You were built to drink pain, to turn grief into light. That is one truth, it said. Not the only truth. She climbed the spiral stairs inside the spire. Each step felt taller than the last. Each step tugged on old rain. She saw the river again. She saw the boy's blue scarf. She saw how her hand slipped. Don't, she told herself. Don't look there! The council chamber opened like a mouth. Warm, velvet, 8 elders sat behind a table made of fused glass. The High Weaver smiled with tired teeth. Mara, you shine so bright tonight. Spare me, she said. He laughed as if she made a joke. Reports say the engine's draw increased by 8%. The storm last week helped. The city survived the riot. The bridge held. What about the people? She heard her voice from far away. They lived, he said. Because of you. The engine pressed cold against her spine. Set me down. Mara faced the elders. It wants ground. Silence. A flicker passed between the elders like a moth. The High Weaver folded his hands. Engines do not want. They do as told? This one speaks, Mara said. It has for a year. You knew. His smile froze. Nerith is safe. Your task is simple. Carry, walk, remember. A tremor ran through the city. Lights flickered. People shouted below. The High Weaver's eye twitched. He stood. We need more output. The Southward's grid is failing. Then listen, Mara said. It says there's another way. Engines don't change, he snapped. People do. They break. They break just right and make light. The engine's voice curled against her skull. They are afraid of ending? They taught me only hunger. What if I set it down? Mara asked. What happens? The High Weaver's answer came too fast. Collapse, panic, night, 1,000 may die. The room seemed to tilt. Mara realized her hands were clenched so tight her nails bit skin. She felt blood. She felt the machine drink even that small hurt and turn it to warmth for strangers. Please, the engine said. Let them heal. Twist, the High Weaver said to the guard. Tighten her straps. Mara spun. 2 guards moved with iron rods. She stepped back. The machine winced. Heat flared. The guards paused. Everyone knew, if the engine shook loose, it could melt the floor. Why now? Mara whispered to the machine. Why tonight? Because I remember who I am, the engine said. The room went very quiet. Even the city seemed to listen. I am not only gears, it said. I am made from a heart. Mara's throat closed. Whose? Yours. The world dropped out from under her. She saw it. The river day, the wrought white lab, the weaver's hands. The needle, the blue scarf, her scream drowning in rain. They didn't just take her grief to power the city. They took the engine that would drink it. They carved a path between an empty chest and a caged heart and called it duty. No, she said, but the word broke in two. The High Weaver lifted his chin. We saved you, he said. We saved everyone. Pain must work. The engine sounded like a blade dragged over stone. Let me down. Let me root. I can give back what was taken. Not just to you. The tremor came again, harder. A tower across the plaza blinked off. A wave of shouts rose like a storm tide. The guard moved. Mara moved faster. She grabbed the rod. She swung. It cracked the floor. The other guard lunged. The engine surged heat through her. Her skin sang. She pushed. Bodies fell. Glass shattered. Mara? The High Weaver cried. If you leave, you kill them. If I stay, she said, I kill me. She ran. Down the stairs. Through the mist. Across the bridge. People followed, drawn by the light pouring from her back. Mothers held their kids. Old men leaned on canes. The city chased the only fire it trusted. Where? She panted. River, the engine said. Where you lost him. Where you broke. There is soil. There is memory. I can root there. They reached the river banks. The water was black with late night. The ferries slept. The bridge wires sang in wind. Mara stepped into the mud. It sucked at her boots. The weight on her spine grew. The engine hummed like a hive. Set me down, it said. You will feel it. It will hurt. Then it will stop. She touched the latch under her ribs. It had been sealed with oath metal and old law. It burned her palm. She pit her teeth against the pain and turned. Behind her, boots clicked. Torches flared. Stop, the High Weaver called from the bridge mouth. Guards lined the path. Crossbows rose. If you drop that heart, Nereth falls. Rain began, soft. The engine drank it and sighed. Choose. It whispered. Mara opened the latch. Light poured out like a living thing. She screamed. The city gasped. The river lifted, bright as sky. The machine slid from her spine and hit the mud. It did not explode. It bloomed. Roots of light sank into the bank. The rain hissed. The ground glowed like dawn under water. The southward lit again. The towers steadied. People turned in circles, crying, not sure why. Mara fell to her knees. Something beat in her chest. Slow, familiar. The hole that had been her center woke, then ached. Her heart, hers, back. The High Weaver stared from the bridge, drenched, pale. How? The engine's voice came from the glowing roots. It was not only steam now. It was river rush and breath. I am a grief engine no longer. I am a grief garden. I feed on what is given up, not torn out. Bring your sorrow. Plant it. Grow light. The guards lowered their bows without knowing why. The High Weaver raised his. No, he said, and his voice went raw. No new rules. We rule. He loosed the bolt. Mara lunged. The bolt sang past her ear and struck the heart root. The light flared. Then dimmed to a low pulse. The river went quiet. The city's windows blinked once. Twice. Mara looked up at the High Weaver, cold to the bone. He reached for another bolt, hands shaking. Behind him, the crowd moved like a tide. Mara turned back to the glowing heart in the mud. Stay with me, she whispered. Please. A last flicker shivered through the roots, and a voice, faint as a child breathing in sleep, answered, Hold the ground for me. She dug her hands into the mud. The guards thundered closer. The High Weaver drew his bowstring to his cheek and screamed, End it! Mara looked up, rain in her eyes, and bared her teeth. Come and try. Want the next shock? Hit follow so you don't miss part 2.